Gakuryû Ishii is one of the 10 or 5 greatest film artists in the medium's history, so that's what Noel Oakeshott and I used to insist. Oakeshott first, very obviously. Since the 1980s, Ishii has delivered some of the most interesting films in Japanese cinema history, but also in world history at large, including the likes of Burst City, August in the Water, Labyrinth of Dreams, Gojo, Spirit War Chronicle, this title, Electric Dragon 80,000 V, Kyoshin, Flower of Shanada, and Bitter Honey. One may note his most recent work from last/this year, The Boxman. I have to say, this film doesn't seem too interesting to me, and I've avoided it thus far. Something about it seems too self-admiringly quirky and selling what might be called Japanese weirdness to the Western world, everyone chuckling at its idiosyncrasies as they prepare to indulge in expensive wines, gorge on lavish meals while pretending that the Gaza genocide is somehow a more nuanced issue than it seems, with the most profane and amoral of hacky and line-centrist fart measuring. But whatever the case, Ishii certainly delivered some utterly compelling films throughout his lifetime so far, and we'll be discussing Electric Dragon 80,000 V today, a film which may resemble Tsukamoto's Tetsuo the Iron Man to some, but is a wholly unique and riveting, enthused special effects piece in its own distinct right. It is essentially a means of merging the underground 80s cyberpunk world of Japanese adventurous auteurs and the iconic tokusatsu pictures of more mainstream Japanese film and television entertainment. At only 50 minutes in length, Electric Dragon 80,000 V does not at all outstay its welcome and is one of the most enjoyable pieces of watchable cinema available to be placed on your television. Even if you do not feel like watching it all the time, the memory of its existence will ensure it as one of the most impressive and even objectively value-for-money pieces of cinematic home entertainment you would have in your personal media collection. Is it silly? Sure, but really, who cares? As a sheer visual display, as a film which determines that superpower fantasy and slapstick comedy can be seamlessly coexisting in the same film, totally fulfilling the function of both, whatever one would prefer this film to be, this is one of the most accomplished feature film works released during the entire decade of the 2000s. One of the many brilliant films to feature the very great Tadanobu Asano, one of Japan's greatest actors in cinema history, and certainly an enormous favourite of Noel Oakeshott at one time. He probably still is, I can't imagine why he wouldn't be. Among the best features which Asano ever appeared in include Hirokazu Kurita's Mabarosi, Shunji Iwai's Swallowtail Butterfly, The Legend of Homo Aquarelius by Tatsuya Ishii, Labyrinth of Dreams, Gojo Spirit War Chronicle, and Electric Dragon 80,000 V, this film obviously, from Gakuryû Ishii, A Way with Words by Christopher Doyle, Gemini by Shinya Tsukamoto, Ichi the Killer by Takashi Miike, Distance by Hirokazu Kurita. Now, this is a film. Go and see that one. Even those of you who claim to love Kurita on the basis of Afterlife, Still Walking After the Storm, or Shoplifters, Woman of Water by Hidenori Sugimori, Last Life in the Universe, and Invisible Dreams by Pen Ek Ratana-rung. Noel Oakeshott really loved Cafe Lumiere by Ho Xiao Shen, The Taste of Tea by Katsuhito Ishii, The Buried Forest by Kohei Oguri, Portrait of the Wind by Taro Hyugaji, Sad Vacation by Shinji Aoyama, Ruined Heart by the great Filipino directorial genius Kavan, I couldn't really certain how to pronounce that, ask Oakeshott. Kiyoshi Kurosawa's Journey to the Shore, Martin Scorsese's version of the excellent novel from Shusaku Endo, Silence, Dear Stranger by Yukiko Mishima, and Labyrinth of Cinema by Nobuhiko Obayashi. This may not seem like your idea of particularly gallant cinema. You might be scoffing at it. Those stupid movies from Japan, superhero movies are horrid, and especially if they are liked by introverted weebs in the West, who I hate so much because I see an aspect of myself in them, or whatever. If you're going to allow, accept and adore the silent slapstick cinema or depictions in animation of over-the-top farcical procedures, or gallant fantasy cinema when Europeans are doing it instead, I'm not sure why you would turn down Electric Dragon 80,000 V, other than some preconceived prejudices about Japanese genre cinema, the people who enjoy those works, and an assumption that others would turn their nose up at this film, and yet not others, which are not really at all unlike it. Hope you enjoyed the screen caps, and more importantly, I hope that you enjoy the rest of your current day, however long is left of it.